আসসালামু আলাইকুম and good evening. ATN বাংলা এখনকার আয়োজন এডুকেশন আওয়ার আপনাদেরকে স্বাগত। আমি সিরাজুল বাসি চৌধুরী আপনাদেরকে শুভেচ্ছা জানাচ্ছি। আমরা চলে আসলাম আমাদের নতুন টপিক নিয়ে কথা বলার জন্য। Our today's topic, a fantastic topic. We will be talking to three of our guests today. An inspiration to the young generation. An inspiration to the young generation. So we will be talking to someone who is very special, who is a very special person, and would like to know about her job, about her career, and also at the same time we'll be joining with two young students. They will be talking about their aims and aspirations in their study as well. So ATN Bangla's program today, we are broadcasting live Sky channel 779. We are on Facebook as well as YouTube, and also on our website www.atnbanglauk.tv. Please do share our program on Facebook. If you have any comments, any questions, anything would you like to ask, please do ask and make your comments. So it's a fantastic topic today. We will be talking on Education Hour and inspiration to the young generation. Conversation with one of the youngest head teachers in the UK. Tahmina Begum, one of the youngest head teachers, a role model for young people. We'll be talking to her. So, good evening and Assalamu alaikum. Tahmina Begum. Okay, sorry, we are having some technical difficulties with Tahmina Begum. We'll come back to you, Tahmina Begum, probably introduce. There is a problem, technical problem. Can I introduce two other guests in the panel? Shaika Muhammad, year 10. Shaika, can you hear me?
Yes, Uncle. Assalamu alaikum, everyone. It's an
Wa alaikum
honor.
assalam. How are you today?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you very much. So are you in year 10 now?
Yes, I'm currently in year 10.
You are in year 10. Okay, that's good. And thank you very much for joining on Education Hour today.
Thank you very much for inviting me again.
Okay, thank you very much. Now another guest, another young guest, Krishna Shil, year 8 student. Good evening, Krishna.
Adab, Uncle. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you today?
I'm fine, thank you. I would like to thank the whole ATN channel and everyone behind that. I just want to thank everyone for inviting me here to this show. It's actually an honor to be here.
Oh, thank you very much. I'm delighted to have both of you on the show. And now I'm going to try now to introduce our very special guest today on Education Hour. Tahmina Begum, one of the youngest head teachers, a role model for young people. Good evening and Assalamu alaikum, Tahmina Begum.
Good evening, wa alaikum assalam. Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you very clearly. I'm sorry I lost you while I introduced you.
No problem, I'm really sorry about that.
No, that's fine. It happens sometimes, technical hiccup, but I can talk to you now. So how are you today? Tell me about your day.
Alhamdulillah, I'm good. I am more nervous than your esteemed other guests. I'm very impressed with the way that they've introduced themselves and how nervous I feel being on the show today. I want to say thank you very much for having me, first of all. I am more nervous.
In front of over 1,000 students, you do assembly. You lead the staff meeting. You lead the events.
It's true. Eyes closed, I can do a speech in front of 1,000 students and hundreds of parents, but coming on this esteemed channel in front of my community is a very big privilege and it's very close to my heart. So thank you very much for having me today. I really appreciate it.
I'm so delighted that I am having you on Education Hour today, and it's a great privilege. So Tahmina, I can see here many comments. I took one comment from a newspaper here. I can see that here. Guardians, they wrote a story recently about a day in the life of one of the youngest head teachers. That's the subheading. So tell me about your current job, including what do you enjoy the best as a head teacher?
Without a doubt, the best part of my job is getting to speak to our students every single day. And it's those little conversations, you know, that I have with them when they come through the gate, when they're walking through the corridors, when I get to teach them. I think it's the best part of any teacher's job. And as a head teacher, I get to do it all the time.
Right. It's very nice to hear that. Now, currently, obviously, we are going through this lockdown, and some students, definitely in this country, they have been attending schools, including your schools. So how is it going so far, your in online teaching in your school, as well as how are you supporting your students, as well as parents and guardians?
So what we've been doing at Forest Gate School is we've been delivering online lessons, live lessons. So what we've got a really good system in our school called the Dynamic Progress Reporting System. And it's a website that allows students and parents to track their learning. And it means, you know, everyone's been a little bit worried about missing out on learning during this lockdown. The Dynamic Progress Report, or DPR, has meant that our students have carried on learning during this time because they use this platform to upload their work, access communication with their students and their teachers and their parents. So students have been accessing online live lessons. They've been submitting work during the first lockdown and this lockdown. And it's meant we've carried on with teaching our curriculum in this time. We've had some students in the building as well, on average about 40 students, and they've also been accessing their online lessons from school. So, you know, it's not been the same, but our parents have been in contact with our teachers every day and our pastoral teams, because our teachers make telephone calls every single day to keep in touch, to see how the students are getting on as well. So it's been a lot of hard work, it's been difficult, but I think what's kept us going is that contact with our students in this time. And of course, we'll be back soon, so that'll be even better.
Thank you, Tahmina. We'll talk more. I'll come to Shaika. Shaika Muhammad. Can I call you Shaika?
Ji.
Shaika.
Yes, Shaika.
Okay, Shaika, you are in year 10. It's a very crucial year. Next year, definitely you're going to appear in your GCSE exam. So tell me about your online learning. How is it going so far?
My online learning is going great. However, there are really negative impacts, such as today I had some internet issues and I had a test and I couldn't submit it because it's work. Definitely a different experience doing your homework and learning your lesson at home than doing it at school. So I personally prefer going to school and learning than going home and doing online lessons, because when you have questions, the teacher asks them and you get an automatic response, but at home you don't always get an automatic response. You have to wait long hours for getting the response that you want from your teachers.
That's good. We'll talk more. What about Krishna? Krishna, are you are in year 8? Am I right?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Tell me about your teaching and learning going on at home, online learning.
Actually,
or anything? Sorry, go on.
Yes. Actually, I mean, for remote learning, there are quite some advantages and disadvantages. So the first advantages are, like, we're in a comfort zone. We're actually staying at home with our families, and we also have more time to sleep and relax if we cut down our traveling times. But the main problem is the disadvantages, and there are quite a lot. There are a few examples too. For example, we can't really do PE properly out on the fields. we also have science experiments. These can't be also conducted properly as we don't have the necessary resources. We can't really interact with our teachers properly. We're not overall, we're not getting the practical experiences. And of course, us humans, we're like social animals. So socializing with friends is just a daily necessity that we need. And this remote learning, this lockdown has seriously stopped us from socializing with our friends, and it has been severely impacting our lives.
Well, definitely you have talked about some advantages as well, some disadvantages as well. And the head teacher here from his school, Tahmina Begum, who will probably respond later on, I will ask Tahmina later on. Tahmina, would you like to respond to these disadvantages? I mean, obviously, children, they can't do PE, they can't do many things they used to do in school, face-to-face lessons, obviously. And also, I heard parents and guardians that talk about the children's mental health and physical health as well. So what do you think? What is your opinion about that?
I mean, we know the detriments that a lockdown has and school closures have on learning. Nothing replaces face-to-face teaching in school. It's not just the learning, it's, as Krishna explained there, it's the social element of being in school, being around your friends, your peers, your teachers. It's those things those softer skills that you're learning by interacting with those around you that you're missing out on when you're at home. So he's absolutely right. There's lots of implications of being at home and trying to keep up with your learning. You know, it's a necessity at the moment, but I think Krishna's not alone in looking forward to being back to a bit of normality.
Thank you very much for your response. So today we have two students here, and they will be asking them questions, as well as they might ask you a couple of questions towards the end, Tahmina. You as a head teacher, obviously, you are here today, and hopefully you will answer some good questions from our students. And I have some questions to you as well. And also ATN Bangla from Education Hour, we strongly feel you are an inspiration for young generation and British Bangladeshi community, a role model, because at the age of 32, you are the head of a school, of a secondary school that is above average school, more than 1,000 students there. But I have a statement that you made in a newspaper. I started my career as an English teacher, but I actually studied psychology at university. I would like to know why, and why you chose a different subject to teach, number one, and why did you choose this challenging profession? And now, obviously, you are a head teacher.
So you're correct. So I did do a degree in psychology when I was at university, and it's because I really enjoyed my A-level studying psychology, and because I really enjoyed it, I thought I wanted to pursue educational psychology in university. And so I did my degree, but I was also very fortunate to have very good role models around me. So my eldest brother was a teacher at the time, and a maths teacher. My older sister was a teacher as well. She's a science teacher. And so I had very good influences and role models around me. And the teaching profession always appealed to me anyway. And when I saw the really good work they were doing, it was always in the back of my mind. And then when I finished my degree, I would pursue educational psychology, but you needed a PhD at the time, a doctorate. And in order to get into that doctorate, you needed to have school experience. So I thought that I would get experience in a school. My younger brother is also a teacher, but I think he followed me. I'm his role model as well. He's come and reminded me to tell everyone. So I come from a family of teachers, so I've got very good influences around me. So I got some school-based experience in a secondary school in Tower Hamlets, Sir John Cass. I believe it's called something else now. and I started to do kind of academic tutoring, you know, mentoring. And before I knew it, they were asking me to teach some classes. And I realized how much I enjoyed teaching. And I had the deputy head teacher at the time really encouraged me. He said to me, you know, you should pursue teaching. Why don't you get the qualification? You're good at it. You could be even better. And so I got into it that way. And I had very good mentors at the time as well. My older brother was mentoring me. My sister was mentoring me. I had a mentor in the school, a teacher. So I always say I've been very fortunate to have colleagues and family who've supported me each time and encouraged me to go for the next thing. The reason I chose English to teach is because aside from psychology, English is my other subject that I particularly enjoy. You know, I enjoy books and I love the subject itself. And that's why I pursued English.
Thank you very much. I mean, so many things you explain, being a head teacher and the family of teachers, I would say. It's
yes.
Like so many of you are teachers.
Not just in this country. Not just in this country. So I was talking to my dad yesterday and he was counting off all the teachers in my extended family. So in Bangladesh,
right.
I've got my cousin brothers who are
right.
teachers, teachers. In total, I think he said 15 if we count my siblings over in Bangladesh as well. So clearly we love the profession.
Definitely.
And we do because it's the best thing. You know, you're shaping lives, you're passing wisdom, you're shaping the future generations. You know, it's an esteemed profession, and it definitely exists in my family.
Thank you very much. Now I already asked you a couple of questions, but these students, young students, they have some questions to ask you. I hope you'll be able to answer those questions. Thank you very much.
I hope so too.
Do you have any question? Any question to
yes,
Tahmina Begum?
I have. Yes, I have become a head girl, and I had to face many challenges to achieve this goal. So what challenges did you have to face in order to become a head teacher? Because there are many people who are older than you, but they're still unable to become a head teacher. So what's your biggest challenge, and how much family support did you have?
Did you hear that?
I did hear that. So the question. Thank you very much, Sheikha. Sheikha wouldn't tell me the question before. I tried to get her to secretly tell me the question, so I had time to prepare for it. But she didn't want to. She wanted to put me on the spot because it's actually a really good question.
I think she did the right thing.
Thank you for that, Sheikha.
I have more questions.
So I'm sure you do, Sheikha. Thank you. I look forward to them. Let me try and answer this first one. So Sheikha's question was, what was the biggest challenge? Because there's older people who aren't head teacher yet, and what family support did I have? So as I mentioned, I'm very fortunate to have, you know, really good encouragement every step of the way. In fact, it was my family who encouraged me when I didn't believe that I could do it myself. And very often when you are, you know, developing in your practice, when you're learning new things and when you're new to a job, you don't really believe at first in your ability to do something. You have to listen to your mentors and others who have a little bit more wisdom than you. And so it was actually through the encouragement of my brothers and my sister, who essentially said, go for it, you know, you've done this, you've done X, Y, Z, you should do it. And they made me believe in myself more. And I listened to them. I thought about the impact that I have been making. I read more, I learned more, and that's what encouraged me to go for these opportunities.
Thank you very much. Well, definitely. Thank you, Shaika. Thank you very much. Wonderful question and wonderful answer, definitely. I have got another question from Krishna. Now, Krishna, would you like to ask your question, please, to Tahmina Begum?
Yes. Of course, definitely. But before I ask the questions, I didn't actually get to speak much about you. I'd like to congratulate you for being the youngest head teacher in the Newham Borough, and in fact one of the youngest in the UK.
Well, in fact,
of course,
she
very
is
commendable.
one of the youngest head teachers in the country, in the UK.
Wow, of course. It's absolutely very commendable. So the question
Thank
I
you
wanted
very
to
much,
ask,
Krishna.
thank you. So the question I wanted to ask is, as you're quite a young head teacher, you might have lots of new ideas. So if you were given the choice to change something, for example, make a change in the school curriculum, for example, more PE lessons or less history lessons, or something to do with any other subject, what would you change and why?
That is what a fantastic question, Krishna. Thank you for that. It's also quite a difficult one. I think what I would change is I would work on taking away the pressures that teachers feel, you know, because there's a lot of things that create pressure for teachers, and that doesn't
Tahmina
help
Begum, can I
with.
just stop you? We have to go to commercial break. After the commercial
Okay,
break, you can start your answer again, please, if you don't mind.
no problem.
Okay, stay with us, please. Viewers, we are going to a short break. We are talking about today's topic on Education Hour and inspiration to the young generation. We are talking to one of the youngest head teachers in the UK and two students as well. So we'll go to a short break. We'll be back soon. বিরতির পর আবার এডুকেশন আওয়ারে our topic is today an inspiration for the young generation. We are talking to three of our guests. Tahmina Begum, one of the youngest head teachers and a role model for the young generation, and we are talking to her. And Shaika Muhammad, a student, is in year 10, and Krishna Shil, year 8 student. All of you, welcome back. ATN Bangla UK's program. Today we are broadcasting live on Sky Channel 779. We are on Facebook, on YouTube, and also on website. Our website www.atnbanglauk.tv. Please do share our program on Facebook. If you have any comments or any suggestions, anything would you like to share, please do make phone call and talk to our guests or talk to us. So Tahmina Begum, welcome back.
Hello, welcome. Thank you for having me.
Thank you very much. And Shaika Muhammad, welcome back.
Hello, thank you for having
Thank
me
you.
as well.
And Krishna Shil, welcome back. Tahmina,
Thank you very much.
before our break, Shaika asked a question. Sorry, yes. So
Krishna.
would you like to continue with your answer, please?
Krishna asked the question. Yes,
Sorry,
so the
Krishna.
question,
Krishna.
Krishna's excellent question was, if there was anything that I could change, what would it be? Since I'm a head teacher. Well, if I had more power, Krishna, and it's quite a big question, I was talking about pressure on teachers. So, you know, in this country, we've got a recruitment crisis in the teaching profession. We don't have enough teachers going into that profession. And for me, you know, I mentioned this before, teaching is such an esteemed profession. It's so important because of the impact that we're having on young people and our future generations. And I think one of the things that is stopping the young people becoming teachers or entering the teaching profession is the pressure in the profession from different things, you know. And what I'd really like, if I had the power to change it, would be to change that pressure, change people's perceptions of the teaching profession, and have it as a perception where people view teaching as it should be, esteemed, respected, a privilege to be part of the profession. And I think, you know, especially in our community, we've got such amazing people and role models to have our community more in our profession, becoming leaders, becoming really successful, would be a brilliant thing.
Thank you, Tahmina.
That was a beautiful answer. Beautiful answer.
Very good. Very good. Excellent. As you mentioned about scarcity of teachers, and probably you are aware of, I have got little data here, when teachers join their profession, after 3-4 years, 1/3 or more than 1/3 teachers, they leave the profession or join other profession, and definitely it's a challenging job. Why is that?
Well, there's different reasons. I think one of the reasons is them not being developed. You know, in the first few years of teaching, you need good mentoring, you need good support, you need good coaching. And I think because of various reasons, for many teachers, that doesn't happen. I mean, I come from a school where that is very important to our school. We invest meaningfully in the development of our teachers at whatever level. So anyone who joins our school, and I'm part of Forest Gate Community School, is actually part of a larger trust. So we've got 3 schools in our trust. And one of the strengths of our trust is recognizing talent, developing our staff so that, you know, they can excel in their practice. They're able to really make an impact on our students because they're getting that development and that support. So I think if we focus on investing in the development of our practitioners in our teaching profession, like we're doing in our trust, I'd like that to spread, you know. I think it really would help the retention crisis that we're facing in this profession.
Okay. Thank you very much. In fact, I have a statement here. Another newspaper just wrote about you, Tahmina Begum. East London head teacher is the youngest in the country to have school rated outstanding. So, school rated outstanding, and also Ofsted mentioned about your school. You are supported by a skillful leadership team and by effective chairs of the local governing body and trust board. Together, you have set a clear strategic direction. This is based on a vision that is ambitious to ensure that all pupils receive a well-rounded, high-quality education. Now, can I ask my technical team to bring a couple of images from your schools? Who would like to see schools and some students probably there. May I request my technical team, please? আমি কি অনুরোধ করতে পারি technical team, please? So this is your school, Forest Gate Community School. Nice building, I can see that. Next. Next page, please. Thank you. Any other images? Yes. Tahmina, who are they?
Oh, they're some of our lovely students at school. I miss seeing them. I can't wait to see them next week. So the first picture actually is a very old picture of our building. The school doesn't look like that anymore.
Okay.
That was an image that the school looked like that when I first joined about 8 years ago.
Right.
Now that whole section is brand new. We've got a lovely new aspect of our canteen. And it joins onto our beautiful new AstroTurf. So we've had building works happen over the last few years.
Oh, I'm sorry about not getting,
That's okay. If you check out our website, you can see the new version now. So now you've got before and after shot.
Okay, we'll see whether we can bring it. Is there any other images or? Oh, this is you actually. Was it taken?
Me, yeah.
Yeah, go on. Where was it taken?
So if it's focus on the bit behind me, so that's the new part of our building. So it's nice and new. It's large steps that lead down to our brand new AstroTurf. So it's a very important part of our community because actually different companies in the community also use our Astro to run their clubs and games and things like that. So it's very impressive looking.
Yes,
so the photography used that image. Yeah.
Oh, this is very nice. It's probably from your website or something. What is it?
No, this is an image from a webinar that I took part in last year at some point, where someone invited me to talk about our teaching and learning approach in our school.
Okay, thank you very much. So I will come to, there's another one. A 32-year-old head teacher is believed to be the youngest in the country to have her school rated outstanding by Ofsted. I would like to hear briefly about the school. How many students are there, member of staff, and any one or two strengths about your school, please. Would like to hear.
Oh, there's loads of strengths about my school.
I know hundreds. There are hundreds maybe, but I would like to hear because of time. I'd like to hear one or two.
Right. One of the best things about my school is the staff, the teachers, the support teams, all the way across all corners of our school. Our premises staff, they're wonderful. And I tell you why. It's because there's a deep care for the students and the community that we serve in the school. Forest Gate Community School is based in Newham. It serves a disadvantaged community, a very diverse community, our own community. So all the staff that work in the school have a strong passion, a strong sense of social justice to make a difference to the lives of the students that we are working for. So that's possibly up there. That's the best thing. The second good thing about the school, out of a million good things, is that everyone really, really supports each other. There's a real sense of team ethos, there's a family feel in the school. We're rooting for each other to do well and to be better and to develop in our practice, because we know if we do, we will be helping our students.
That's very good.
I can carry on. Shall I tell you more
Yeah,
reasons?
well, maybe I'll come back to you later on to talk about other strengths, as well as I have got few other questions. But can I come to Shaika Muhammad again? Shaika,
Yes.
tell me about yourself. I know you would like to do something in your school. You just mentioned earlier you have an intention to become like a head girl of your school.
Yes.
Yes? It's like a leader amongst the students. Can you tell about what is happening in your school? About
Sorry,
yes, go on.
continue. Oh, so in my school, I would like to improve school. Not everyone, like
You are having some internet, I think, issues. Yeah.
sorry,
Continue,
I
please.
will just start again.
Yes, go on. Start again.
Before when I started, every year we worked together, so we had lunch break together, and we used to learn.
Okay. I'll come back to you maybe later to hear about your school and about yourself as well. Krishna, I'll come to you, Krishna, but before that, can I take a call? Assalamu alaikum, Darshak. পরিচয় দেখে মন্তব্য প্রশ্ন. You're live on air ATN Bangla, UK.
Hello, good evening. My name is Prashanto Purukasto.
Welcome, Dada.
Yeah, I'd like to make a comment on
Please go ahead.
the successful head teacher, Tamina. I would like to congratulate Tamina for her achievement at this young age. And I also would like to congratulate the family of role model she mentioned, and which we should be proud of. And your passion for teaching and family value is commendable and inspirational, what I have heard so far. But I would like to ask you a question, or not question, I would like to request to give a message to our younger generation how to respect family value and listening to their parents or guardian. What would be your message, please? Thank you.
Thank you, Prashantoda, for your fantastic question. Tahmina, go ahead, please.
First of all, thank you, sir. It's your question is a really important one, and actually, it's one that we're always trying to teach and impart on our students at school, and that is the respecting your parents. I think, you know, in our community, we learn this, or I definitely learned it growing up. You know, my parents always spoke about how important respect for your elders is. As you grow up, you have lots of different influences around you, and I always say to our young people, think about the company you keep. They will change, you know, they will change by the day. As you grow older, you won't be friends with certain people, you'll move on, and that's normal, that's life. The one thing that remains with you, the one thing that is a constant, and the one thing that shapes who you are, your character, are your parents. It's your family. You know, they are the ones that teach you from right and wrong. They are the ones who create your character, okay? And they support you when times get difficult, okay? They are there through thick and thin. So what I would say is really appreciate the sacrifices that your family, particularly parents, make for you. And sometimes when we're young, we don't necessarily appreciate that. It's part of being young. But I think when someone tells us that, I think it's an opportunity for us to take stock and consider, well, actually, look at how much my mom is doing for me. Look at how much my dad is stressing about, you know, my grades or my education, and I've got, and they've done so much. Let me take a step back and think, what can I do to reassure them? And sometimes it's something as small as getting my homework done on time, or, you know, trying really hard for an exam, or helping them out in the kitchen. Something minor, but actually it means a lot in the grand scheme of things.
Thank you, Tahmina. On that note, can I take another call, and then I'll come to Krishna. Just wait for a minute, please, Krishna. Sorry. Good evening and Assalamu alaikum. You're live on air ATN Bangla, UK.
Hello?
Hello.
Hi, I just wanted to ask a question. I've been watching the show tonight, and I've been finding it very interesting. I just wanted to say congratulations to the head teacher there for all of her achievements at such a young age. And just out of curiosity, of course, you have a very demanding job. So I was wondering, what do you do to sort of wind down, or what are your other passions or hobbies aside from teaching?
Wow, wonderful question. Thank you very much. Definitely. Tahmina, would you like to respond to that question, please?
Yeah, thank you for that question. I do get this question a lot, because some of the articles make me sound as if I'm doing my job non-stop. And it is a little bit like that sometimes. The profession is the way it is. But, you know, it's things that I do to wind down. First of all, my family is everything to me. I love spending time with my family, my little nieces, my niece and nephews. You know, they're around a lot. I get to play with them, and that's a lot of fun for me. I read books. I like a good fiction, non-fiction. That's a good pastime for me. One of the things that I started to do, and I do intend to continue, is exercise, weight training. I think it's very important to invest in your health. It comes before anything, and it's a bit of a break between work and, you know, personal time. I personally don't find exercising very fun, but I do recognize the importance of it. So it's something that I intend to carry on with.
Thank you very much. There are many callers on the line. We'll take this call, and then we have a question to Krishna. Good evening and Assalamu alaikum. You're live on ATN BANGLA UK. Hello.
Assalamu alaikum. It is Umi Hana Chaji from Osmani Primary School.
Yes, go ahead. Wa alaikum assalam. Do you have any question to our guests, any of the guests?
Yes, I'd like to say congratulations to Samina for being the best head teacher of school.
Well, one of the youngest head teachers in the UK.
Yes, youngest.
Yes.
And I would like to say may Allah bless her a happy life.
Thank you very much. It's a very good comments from you. Thank you very much for
Lovely.
Krishna,
thank you very much.
Krishna, I'll come to you now. Krishna, I would like to know about yourself. I mean, what you're doing in school, the subjects, and also I'd like to know your ambitions and any aims for the future. I know you do many, many extracurricular tasks. Briefly, would like to hear from you.
First of all, if I talk...
Go ahead. Krishna.
It's somewhere in Mill Hill County High School,
Yes.
and I typically I just like three subjects in particular. I like maths, I like science, and I also like a bit of geography too. The reason is that I want to become a doctor in the future when I grow up, and also I have another extracurricular ambition. It's also music. Music is one of my main subject that I also like, because I'm also a singer too. On the other hand, I also play other instruments. But if I want to become something in the future, then I would want to become something like a singing doctor. So yeah, that's basically my ambition of trying to keep music, but also keep my studies together, leveled and balanced.
Oh, thank you very much. I'll come to Shaika. Shaika, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yes. So do you think, as Krishna mentioned, do you think alongside your study, if you do some kind of extracurricular task, other hobbies and interest, are they important to do alongside your study?
Yes, I agree. I think it's important to do curriculums. For example, I make extracurriculums which actually
I'm sorry, Shaika, I can't hear you properly. So I hope you are just near to your internet connection. Maybe you can try again. Can you try again, please? And slowly you can say what you were saying.
Okay, so I said that I think it's important to do extracurriculars especially since the 7th and doing extracurriculars all the time, and it boosted my energy. It made me more confident, it made me more resilient and independent.
Okay, I
Have you
had that. Thank you very much. So would you like to mention any aims or aspirations for your future? I know you are in year 10. Next year you have GCSE exam, and year after you're going to college and maybe university in the future. What would you like to do in the future?
I'll first like to do my A levels, and then I would like to become a doctor or a judge.
Okay, we'll talk to three of you again. We have to go to a short break within few seconds. Viewers, our program today on Education Hour, very special program. We are talking to an inspirational person, an inspiration for our next generation, and a young generation. Tahmina Begum, one of the youngest head teachers in the UK. And at the age of 32, she is the head teacher of a school in London. So we are talking about her, what kind of activity she does, as well as she is giving encouragement to young people as well through her talks. We have to go to a short break. We'll be back soon. Welcome back. On Education Hour, we are talking about an inspiration for the young generation. So today we have a guest, very special guest. We are talking to Tahmina Begum, one of the youngest head teachers in the UK, at the age of 32. And she is the head of an outstanding school in London, a secondary school, Forest Gate Community School. And we are talking to Tahmina Begum about the success stories, about her profession, about her school. Also at the same time, she is talking about teaching as a profession. She's giving some good tips about teaching. And also she talked about her strengths of her school. We are also talking to two students, Year 10 student, Shaika Muhammad, and Year 8 student, Krishna Sheel, about their future, their ambitions, and also we talked about their online learning as well. So three of you, welcome back. Tahmina Begum, Shaika Muhammad, welcome back, and Krishna Sheel, welcome back. Tahmina Begum,
Thank you.
I would like to hear something about you now. 3 highlights, very briefly, in your life. Something you don't want to mention, you don't have to mention that. It can be anything. I know you have maybe hundreds highlights in your life, but I would like to hear only 3 highlights and maybe 1 struggle. And after the struggle, probably you achieved what you wanted to achieve. Please go ahead.
Oh, wow. 3 highlights. In no order.
It doesn't matter. It can be any order.
Okay. So one highlight was, it's quite personal to me, but you know, I do talk about this, was knowing my best friend and being able to spend a good few years with her, Shamimara Uddin. For a good few years, we were really good friends. She was my mentor when I was new to teaching, and she became my very, very good friend. She became very ill quite quickly, and she passed away of cancer a few years ago now. But it was a highlight for my life because, you know, she was such a special person to me personally, but she also made such a difference to hundreds and hundreds of children's lives because she was a fellow teacher as well. And, you know, we both taught at my first school, and she also taught at the school that I'm currently at the moment. So that's, I would say, one of my highlights. My second highlight would be being at the birth of my niece, so my sister's daughter. I was my sister's birthing partner, so I was there when my niece was born, and I will never, ever, ever forget that. And I've got a very special bond with my niece to this day. So that's my second highlight. And my third highlight would be my trip to Makkah, to Saudi Arabia, where I performed Hajj with my family. That, of course, is an experience of a lifetime, and I'll never forget that.
I also thank you very much for 3 highlights you mentioned from your life. And I know you have probably hundreds of highlights, and we can't share all hundreds here. What about the struggle? Think about struggle, because we have to struggle to get to succeed sometimes. And after, you know, when you achieve something, you feel that I have achieved something after my struggle. So anything, any struggle would you like to mention? And something you don't want to mention, you don't have to.
Okay, so I think the struggle that I would share would be, I mean, there's lots, of course. The one that I would share would be the year that I finished my degree. I wasn't sure what I wanted to pursue, actually. So, you know what, I said that I did my degree in psychology, and then I was going to pursue a doctorate, but I needed school experience, so that I went to work at Sir John Cass at the time. But I actually didn't know what I wanted to do. And for a whole year, I was thinking in my mind, I've got a degree, but I'm doing a role that is an admin role. So it was, I was overqualified for it. And it was a year where I was really thinking hard about, what am I going to do? I feel a little bit lost. I'm not sure what's going to happen for me in my future. And that for me was a real struggle, I think. And I know that lots of young people go through that struggle, especially when they finish their studies and they're in that kind of middle limbo in between, major events in their kind of careers. And one of the things that got me out of that struggle was seeking the advice of my elders, speaking to my siblings, taking their advice, and taking opportunities, being proactive, putting myself out there, being brave when I was a little bit worried about something and not being good enough at something. I was brave and I put myself out there. So those are the kinds of things that I did to get myself out of that struggle.
Okay, Tahmina, there are many people asking questions, so I will be just one question someone asked on the Facebook. What would be your advice for students and parents, or students, for those students who will be joining your year 7 next year in September, and what kind of advice would you like to give to their parents or guardians?
So the advice that I always give to year 7 parents is to really help your child organize themselves. So one of the biggest differences or changes that year 7s experience from primary life to secondary life is the sheer amount of subjects and things that they need to remember every day. So, and if you think about it and you put yourself in the mind of a year 6 student, they've got very few teachers, they've got their same class often, and they're really kind of looked after throughout the day on a one-to-one. Whereas when they go into secondary school, they've got hundreds of students around them, they've got all these different rooms to go to, they need to navigate themselves, and they actually have to be very independent quite quickly. So what I say to parents is always help your child to pack their bag the night before, look over their timetable with them, and have a little checklist that you go through, that you can tick through to remember to bring the right equipment and things like that for the next day.
Thank you very much. I will come to Shaika. Shaika, I know I had problem listening to you. Shaika, are you okay now? Can I?
Yes.
Yes, Shaika. Right. I would like to, I know you do so many things, and I would like to ask you, because we are celebrating something, although we are going through this difficult period of COVID-19, but today's topic about, we have a head teacher here, one of the youngest head teachers in the country, and she's giving so many tips, so many good things. And also we are talking to Shaika and Krishna. Both of you are very good students in secondary school. So Shaika, I know you do so many things. Would you like to, extracurricular tasks we talked about. What kind of extracurricular tasks do you do at home or in school?
I do many extracurriculars.
So what are they?
Since year 7, I've been doing Scholars Club, Debate Mate, Student Council, YTA, Cycling Club, Netball Club, Basketball Club, Reading Club, many other clubs.
Wow.
So in school, whenever there's a club, I'm always in that club. I'm always there to participate. And currently, I'm joining my live meetings, such as today we did student council meeting. Tomorrow I'm going to have another student council meeting.
Wow.
And on Friday, there's going to be an author who's going to join us in a meeting. And also yesterday, I'm a news presenter from Ion TV News. So that's what I do every week on Tuesdays. So I'm always busy with my extracurriculars. I teach my sister, and as you can see here, I also made the
this is great.
Shahid Minar.
So many things you do, isn't it?
Yes.
Alongside your study, academic study. Would you like to, well, because we are talking about good things here, definitely, so many good things we're talking about. We're listening to Tahmina as well as Krishna. Would you like to just couple of lines, I know you do singing as well. Why not? Would you like to share something with us?
Yes, if I have your permission, I would like to sing a song. This is it's a Bangla song, and it was written by Shah Abdul Karim, and I hope you enjoy it. Thank you very much. বাউল আব্দুল করিম বলে দয়া করো আমারে নত শিরে করো জোরে বলি তোমার দরবারে জোরে বলি তোমার দরবারে বাউল আব্দুল করিম বলে দয়া করো আমারে নত শিরে করো জোরে বলি তোমার দরবারে ভক্তির দিন হো চিরদিন থাকো থাকো ভক্তির অন্তরে কেমনি চিনিব তোমারে মুর্শিদ ধন কেমনি চিনিব তোমারে কাছে নেও না দেখা দেও না আর কত পাবি দূরে কাছে নেও না দেখা দেও না আর কত থাকি দূরে কেমনি চিনিব তোমারে মুর্শিদ ধন হে কেমনি চিনিব তোমারে Thank you very much.
Wow, Krishna, thank you very much. This is the legend Abdul Karim's song, and I'm going to ask something. Obviously, তুমি তো বাংলায় কথা বলতে পারো, তাই না?
হ্যাঁ, একটু একটু বলতে পারি।
একটু বলতে পারো। আমি তাহমিনাকে জিজ্ঞেস করব, সে কি বাংলা বা সিলেটিতে কথা বলতে পারে? তাহমিনা বেগম, আপনি কি বাংলায় কথা বলতে পারেন? বাংলা সিলেটি?
জি পারি, সিলেটি পারি।
সিলেটি নানি।
খুব সুন্দর
গান করলা তাই, মানে দুই লাইন কৃষ্ণায় গান হইলা শাহ আব্দুল করিম তাই নো সিলেট থেকে আইসন বাউল, মানে বাউল কিং হয় আর কি, সম্রাট। তো একটা সং তান হইলা। তো আপনার সুযোগ হয়েছে নি বাংলাদেশও যাইবার, তাহমিনা বেগম?
ইনশাআল্লাহ একদিন যদি পারি যাইতাম। আমি 9 বছর সময় আমি গেছিলাম বাংলাদেশও আমার ফ্যামিলির লগে, আর গেছি না, আমরা সাইরাম যাইতাম ইনশাআল্লাহ একদিন।
খুব ভালো। যদি সিলেটি আমি হই, কোনো অ্যাডভাইস আপনি প্যারেন্টসের কাছে দিতা? ঈদের যারা আমরা যেমন অনেক ব্রিটিশ বাংলাদেশি প্যারেন্টস আছেন, গার্ডিয়ান আছেন, সিলেটি দু চারটে অ্যাডভাইস দিবা নিয়ে আপনি একজন হেড টিচার হিসাবে। আমরা আজকে আপনার সাকসেস লইয়া মাত্রাম, আপনি মনে করি ইয়াং জেনারেশনের একটা রোল মডেল, আপনি সিলেটি কিছু কইবানি?
কিছু স্পেসিফিকলি কিছু হইতাম।
It doesn't matter. আপনি কোনো ধরনের কোনো অ্যাডভাইস about their children, how they support their children, maybe কোনো ব্যাপারে কিলা?
যে সেকেন্ডারি স্কুলে গেলে কত প্রেসার আছে আমরা ফুরতাল লাগে, আর তারা ফ্রেন্ডর গেছে কি তারা প্রেসার ফাইন, ওয়ান প্রেসার তারা ফাইন ওইলো একটা মোবাইল ফোন। তারা সেকেন্ডারি স্কুলে গেছে, তারা সারা ফ্রেন্ডর মাঝে মোবাইল ফোন আছে। আর আমি এক অ্যাডভাইস দেই আমরা প্যারেন্টর গেছে, তারা মোবাইল ফোন লাগে না, because mobile phone extreme, and this is very controversial for a lot of people, but mobile phone is a big distraction amrar furutal lagi, and many problems we experience mobile phone thaki. So one big advice I would give is jodi tarar necessary nai safety lagi jodi lage, then give them a simple phone, but tarar jodi lage na dio na please, because it is a big distraction, and even as an adult, I am distracted with my mobile phone. And we want to take away any distraction when they're learning in school.
Perfect advice, definitely. Shaika, I'll come to you. I'm holding something now here, a page actually I'm going to share with three of you. Tomorrow is World Book Day. World Book Day. Obviously, two of the students here, you will be looking at some books that you like, or your favorite books, favorite author. Usually what happens in primary, secondary schools, we have special assemblies in schools, and children celebrate, talked about their favorite books and favorite authors. This year, due to COVID-19, obviously they can't have an assembly, they can't dress up like they used to do as different characters. So, Shaika, do you have any favorite books to share with us, or just names and authors?
Yes,
Go
so
on.
currently I'm holding a book, and this book is called The Secret Life of the Henna Girl. And I like this book because it gives hope, and it's especially for those girls who have been forced to marry. And this book shows that your life matters, what you dream about matters, and your existence matters. So that's why I really enjoyed reading this book.
Oh, that's great. Thank you. Krishna, do you have a book to share with us? Something, your favorite author or favorite book?
Yes, definitely. I mean, this was actually one of my favorite books since I was in year 2. It's a very famous book. It's by an author called Roald Dahl, and I think everyone would know it. It's called Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. I used to read it every day. It used to be one of my favorite books. But even though it has a very good storyline to it, but if I take this into a real life experience, if I take this into something that we can learn from, we should never be greedy, because there's this main character in there. He's called Charlie.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much.
There were other companions, all the other children, and they all went for chocolate. They all went for the gums and everything.
Yes.
But Charlie, he was all stable. He was very still. So one thing we can learn from that book is to always keep yourself humble, to have a modesty inside you, and not be greedy. And of course, reading books is very good to all children. I would really recommend everyone to read this book. And not only does books improve their vocabulary, but it also improves their creativity and their concentration levels. So reading books is very important. I especially like Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
Thank you, Krishna. My book is this one. When I was a child back in Bangladesh, it's Gulliver's Travel. And this character who went to different places during his journey, first he met, throughout his journey, people with 6-inch tall. And then later, another journey, he met people that are 50 feet or more than 100 feet tall. So this particular book I really like, and I enjoyed when I was in secondary school. I remember back in Bangladesh many years ago. Thank you. Tahmina, would you like to say something about the World Book Day? I know this year you can't celebrate like as schools they used to do.
This is my favorite kind of discussion. I'm an English teacher, so I'm loving hearing your book choices. So our school are doing lots of things actually, despite it being virtual World Book Day. Usually, if we were in school in person, everyone would dress up in their favorite character. Some years we had a theme, and we would dress up in the same theme and come into school. This year, one of our teachers, who's a brilliant lead in our school for things like World Book Day, Miss Hamid, she's arranged a whole range of things that we've planned for. So one of the things is all the teachers are bringing in a book that they've read, that they really like what you guys have shared, and they've wrapped it up and they've written like 5 words that the book is about, and it's called Blind Date with a Book.
Yeah.
And all it means is you get to choose a book based on those 5 words, and you get to go home and read it, and it's a nice little surprise for you. Another thing is the students are picking their favorite book and creating something from it. And we've had authors in as well, so lots of exciting things happening.
Thank you. We have only a couple of minutes to go. So I will go to Shaika. Do you have any other question to Tahmina? Very short question, please, quickly. Tahmina.
Yes, I had a few questions. So
one question, please.
I was
Yes.
going to, okay, so I was going to ask the best tip for a student like us who sees you as a role model.
Thank you. That question I was about to ask. Best tips for the students. Okay, don't answer now, Tahmina, because I will ask Krishna as well to ask his question. Krishna, do you have any question, please?
Yes, I have quite a general question. To be honest, often there is a stereotype where people think that head teachers should normally be in their late 40s or 50s. But as you're a senior but quite a young head teacher, do other teachers, like especially elder teachers, do they sometimes hesitate to take responsibilities delegated by you?
Tahmina, I have got 1 minute to answer these 2 questions, please. Thank you.
So right, so I'll start with Shaker's excellent question. In this meeting, I am in the presence of greatness. You both, Krishna and Shaker, you possess such confidence, such articulacy in the way you speak, the things that you're involved in. My advice to you is carry on being so brilliant because the advice for any young person who wants to be successful, I would say, is really pursue opportunities like you both are doing. You know, get yourself out there, take opportunity, and pursue a passion that you have, which you both are doing. The second
30 seconds to go.
30 seconds to go. So don't listen to stereotypes. Work to your strengths, make an impact, and work very hard and listen to your parents.
Thank you, Tahmina. One of the youngest head teachers in the UK, and also your school was rated as outstanding, and you were the youngest head teacher amongst maybe 100. And thank you very much for your fantastic tips, and we talked about so many things. And thank you, Shaika Muhammad, and thank you, Krishna. In the future, we'll invite you again to talk about this. প্রিয় দর্শক, আমরা কথা বললাম, আমাদের আজকের টপিক ছিল ইন্সপিরেশন ফর দ্য ইয়াং জেনারেশন। আমরা কথা বললাম the youngest head teachers, one of the youngest head teachers of the country. She gave so many tips. So I hope you enjoyed our topic tonight. Thank you very much for watching our program. আগামীতে আবারও দেখা হবে। আগামী প্রোগ্রামের আমন্ত্রণ জানিয়ে আমরা বিদায় নিচ্ছি। Goodbye and good evening.